Welcome to Mother Cluckers. My name is Debbie, and today I'm going to talk about how chickens see the world in a way that's completely different from how we do. Chickens see the world in a way that's completely different from how we do, and it all comes down to something called eye dominance. Unlike humans who process most visual information equally with both eyes, chickens use each eye for a specific purpose. Their right eye is controlled by the left side of their brain, and it's used for focusing on food, small details, and objects up close, while their left eye, controlled by the right side of their brain, is specialized for detecting movement and watching for predators. This means that a chicken is constantly processing two very different types of information at the same time. If you've ever watched a chicken scratch around for food, you might have noticed that it tends to keep one eye close to the ground while it searches for seeds, bugs, or other treats. That's because the right eye is excellent at seeing fine details. It helps the chicken pick out tiny bits of food from dirt, grass, or bedding, making sure nothing tasty gets overlooked. The left side of the brain, which controls this eye, is responsible for focused tasks like pecking accurately at a specific grain or catching an insect. As I am filming today, I noticed this female Pekin duck bobbing her head up and down rapidly while I'm close to her and following her. This usually happens because she's curious and notices my movements. Ducks are naturally interested in what's going on around them, and she might be checking me out as I move. She could also be excited or thinking I'm bringing something she likes, like food or attention. Pekin ducks are friendly and social, so this head bobbing is her way of saying she's engaged with me and wants to interact. Now, if you've ever startled a chicken and seen it suddenly tilt its head or turn to look at you sideways, that's the left eye at work. This eye, connected to the right side of the brain, is built for detecting movement and scanning the surroundings for danger. In the wild, chickens have to be constantly aware of threats from the sky, like hawks, or from the ground, like foxes or raccoons. Their left eye helps them notice even the slightest changes in their environment, giving them time to react and escape if needed. One of the most interesting things about this system is how chickens position themselves based on what they're doing. When they're eating, you'll often see them tilting their heads so their right eye is facing downward. But when they sense something unusual, they'll turn to use their left eye, giving them a better chance of detecting any potential threat. This is why you might see a chicken freeze and suddenly look at something with just one eye. It's deciding whether or not it needs to run. Even when they sleep, chickens use their eyes differently. They have the ability to keep one eye open and one eye closed, which allows them to rest while still staying alert for danger. If a chicken is roosting in a group, the birds on the edge of the roost are more likely to sleep with their outer eye open, watching for threats while the inner eye stays closed for rest. This gives them a huge survival advantage, as even while sleeping, they are still partially aware of their surroundings. Chicks also rely on this system from a very young age. As they develop inside the egg, their right eye is usually pressed against the eggshell, exposed to light filtering through, while their left eye remains in darkness. This early exposure strengthens the right eye's ability to see details up close, while the left eye becomes more sensitive to shadows and movement. So from the moment a chick hatches, it already has this specialized way of seeing the world. For chicken keepers, understanding eye dominance can help explain a lot of common behaviors. If you ever notice a chicken looking at you from one side, it's likely trying to decide if you're a threat. If it's using its right eye, it may just be curious, trying to see small details like your hand movements or what you're holding. But if it's watching you with its left eye, it's assessing whether you're dangerous. That's why a chicken might seem jumpy or nervous if it's using its left eye to focus on you. It's in defense mode, ready to react if needed. Another interesting example is how chickens interact with each other. When establishing pecking order, chickens will often use their left eye to watch another bird's movements, trying to determine if they're a threat or a challenger. But when they're calmly eating or foraging together, the right eye takes over, focusing on finding food rather than watching for conflict. Although most chickens have a dominant eye, there are a few rare cases where chickens can use both eyes equally. These ambidextrous chickens can switch between their eyes as needed, which can help them in situations requiring quick decisions. It's not common, but it has been observed in some chickens raised in environments where they have to be more adaptable, such as on farms with larger flocks or in more challenging conditions. If a chicken injures one of its eyes, it can affect its behavior and how it interacts with its environment. Chickens may rely more heavily on their other eye to compensate, and this can affect their ability to spot predators or find food. In some cases, if a chicken loses vision in one eye, it may appear disoriented or off balance, especially when moving through unfamiliar spaces. Chickens also use their eyes in communication with each other. Their eye movements help them signal distress, dominance, or curiosity. When chickens are interacting with one another, you may notice that they use their dominant eye to focus on the other bird, especially in situations like pecking order disputes or mating rituals. These extra layers of eye dominance help chickens survive and thrive in their environments, and they also show just how sophisticated their vision and perception really are. This unique way of chickens seeing the world gives them an incredible survival advantage. While humans rely on depth perception and both eyes working together, chickens have mastered the ability to process two types of information at once, helping them find food and stay safe at the same time. So the next time you watch your chickens pecking the ground, tilting their heads, or giving you a sideways look, you'll know exactly what's going on in their minds. Tell us what you notice in your flock in regards to how your chickens see the world. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.